Hello again, I am Jim Bob and welcome back to F1 Manager 24 Creator Team Career with Cadillac here on the PC. It's our very heavily modded series. It's round 3 of our opening season. It's 2026 and we are heading to Suzuka for the Japanese Grand Prix. So we were kind of more firmly put in our place last night when we went to China. The pace nowhere near as strong as it was in Australia. Although, as we said, Australia was a bit of an outlier because of safety cars changing the AI strategy immediately and making things a little more favourable for us. At least both of our cars finished last night, which was an improvement on the opening round in that respect, although we did end up finishing 4th in Australia and scoring 12 lovely points, which unfortunately we did not score any points at all last night. That's kind of where we are more likely to be. And tonight we have our first wet race with the new tyre performance and the improved realistic racing and everything. So this could be a very interesting experiment into how the AI pushes their tires in wet weather. Again, this could go either way. This could be kind of like Melbourne. It could be kind of like Shanghai. I just don't know. I haven't run these tires at all in the wet. You know, I did a few laps, I think like 6 or 7 laps in testing before we started the series in Melbourne, just to see if they were, you know, operating in a much tighter temperature window. And when I realized they were, I'm like, okay, that's it. That's all I need to know. Don't want to spoil the surprise of these tires, trying to figure them out. And so, yeah, no wet running done on these tires at all before. So I have no idea how we're going to do tonight. Could be good. Could be a disaster. We will see. We will absolutely see. How you doing, Cats? How you doing, Marcel? Limery's here as well. Dino, good to see you guys. Hello to everyone else who's lurking in the chat. Let's get ourselves prepped and ready for Suzuka, shall we? We still have 7 days to go, but we do have a weather report now. So you can see, going to be dry on the Friday. Saturday is going to be damp. So there could be rain in quali, there could not. It could only affect a little bit of one session, could affect all sessions, we just don't know yet. That's always been a bugbear of mine, is that we have no real info on predicted weather until we're actually in the session itself. And then we have a forecast of some very heavy rain at some point on the Sunday. Again, this means that nothing in some respects. It could be that the entire race, apart from the last 5 laps, is bone dry, and then all of a sudden the heavens open in the last 5 laps. It could mean it's going to be wet the whole way through. It could start very wet and dry up very quickly. We just don't know. So we'll see what happens. It does mean I can't just splurge the tires in practice on Friday and into Saturday, not needing to worry about keeping dry tyres for the Sunday, because there's still every chance we could have some dry running on the Sunday. So, got to keep that in mind. Let's advance time, get ourselves a little bit closer. So we've got a spare suspension now. I think that gives us a actual spare. Yes, it does. Lovely stuff. I think we are still on lockdown with our other projects. And yes, we're still on temporary shutdown. So we are 4 weeks away from the chassis being able to go into production and 5 weeks away from the suspension. And we don't have much in the way of cash. We do have some sponsor money coming up on the 1st of April, which is right after this Grand Prix, I believe. Yes, we finished the Grand Prix on the 29th, and then a couple of days later we will have our first payout from our sponsors, which from memory is just over $6 million, because we've got quite a nice package for our sponsors involving activities and stuff. And that's just baseline payout. That's not with an activity like a compulsory mandatory activity on top, I think. So potentially our 6-week funding gaps could be very, very prolific in terms of financial gain for us. It does mean, on the downside, we are getting practically nothing from races. Best we can get is less than $1 million if both cars achieve their highest target. So we'll continue to advance time. Okay, so the investigation into the wind tunnel is complete. There was a fault which would have escalated. That has been sorted, and at least this time we don't have to pay for any additional refurbing, which is good. Because when we had that with, I think, the design centre, we had to pay to shut it down, and then we had to pay to fix it, even though we had been careful with it. So this one hasn't cost us anything to shut it down, hasn't cost us anything to get it back up and running again. Just lost 8 days. That's acceptable. So the race at Japan's almost here. Balanced circuit in our car isn't well suited due to its low high-speed performance, as well as its low medium speed and low speed performance, and low speed performance. Yeah, it's not a good car. We're predicting the best stop for this will be a 2-stop. This is based on dry running. It's always based on dry running. It's going to be warm, and there is a high chance of rain. So, as I say, could be some dry running in the race itself. We shall have to see. This is how the standings currently are. Lando is top, reigning world champion on 46 points. George in second on 33. But that Mercedes didn't really do much at all in Melbourne. Again, strategies kind of screwed things up a little bit. Was mighty in Shanghai last night. So expect to see Mercedes really start to grab the next couple of races by the scruff of the neck until, you know, more development kicks in and maybe the field balances itself back again. Yeah, Mercedes have got a really, really strong car at the moment. And they are sitting second behind McLaren, 11 points behind them in the constructors' standings. Max is in third. Red Bull are fourth in the constructors. So you can see Ferrari just above them by a point. You've got Leclerc and Hamilton sitting fourth and sixth. Albon's been doing a really good job for Williams in fifth. Sainz has been a little disappointing so far this season. We are way out of position. Do not deserve to be here at all in seventh. With Valtteri in the driver's standings. Again, that's at fourth place, which was almost a podium, which is why we sit sixth in the constructors. But we are going to start to drop like a rock very soon. Antonelli got a decent race result in China. Expect to see him start to move up the order as well going forward. Hadjar had a strong race in Melbourne. Poor race last night. Don't know how he's going to do today. We shall see. And Oscar's not had a great start to the season either. So maybe we'll see some more out of him today. Let's see. Our targets are going to be 18th for Valtteri. And I'm going to gamble and go 18th for Perez as well. We only kind of just were safe with Perez yesterday. We got 17th. Hopefully we can do a little bit better today. But again, who knows?
Konnichiwa from the Suzuka circuit in Japan. This unique track is a favourite home for motorsports, and it welcomes us back this weekend. Get ready for exhilaration and speed with the Japanese Grand Prix. How will the British driver George Russell fare this weekend? He was sensational in the last race. He took home the win and set the bar very high indeed. The weekend begins here.
Yeah, not just winning the race, but he won the sprint, and both in pretty dominant fashion. So, yeah, expect him to be the pace setter. Let's get ourselves prepped and ready. Normally, you can get away with a kind of a soft, medium soft here. So with the new running, At the best, I think we'll be able to do would be a soft, medium, medium. If we went softs and mediums, I think we would probably need to do 2 sets of each, so 2 softs and 2 mediums to make it a 3-stopper in dry running. The other option would be a soft, medium, hard. That I think is, if there's going to be dry running, is going to be our main kind of strategy for this, and then obviously we'll adjust based on what we know is going to happen with wet weather. So based on the fact that I think we're only going to need 1 set of hard tyres, we are going to run hards in practice today. It is normally 17 laps if you want to do 2 separate runs around this circuit. We are going to go long. We're going to go for the entire session and try and do just 1 run, because we know that we are not going to have that luxury of long runs with tyres. Again, we can't do this with the pace and fuel modes. Well, I suppose we could with the fuel mode, but certainly not with the pace mode. Because the tyres will get too cold and then they'll blister and they'll fall away, even as if they were being pushed. So we're going to run standard pace. We are still going to protect the ERS units wherever we can in practice. In terms of parts, we're not changing anything here. So we're at 77% on Valtteri's engine after just 2 Grand Prix and a sprint. That's quite a lot of wear. ERS is 87, gearbox 74. It's a different story for Perez because he smashed up his powertrain in Australia, so he's already on his 2nd engine and 2nd ERS for race trim, but does have, you know, the originals for practice, and completely destroyed his opening gearbox, so we're already on gearbox number 2 permanently. Bit of a shame. Let's put a setup on, shall we? We're going to go with something I think will be pretty conservative. I'm going to go with a 7, a 13. I'm going to go with a 6.4, and then a little bit of an increase here. Toe is almost always 0 at Japan. You know, once in a blue moon it might be slightly higher, but it's pretty much a given that the toe will be 0 at Japan. So we'll start like that. I might put a slightly different setup on Perez. I haven't decided yet. Let's start by fixing the parts. So let's make sure, there we go, older engine and older ERS, which already has a minor fault as well. That's not great. Got to run this gearbox, have no choice. Completely destroyed that first one. Run plan, let's get that done. We'll put 40 laps of fuel in. Again, we're going to leave these pace and fuel settings alone, but we will protect the ERS as much as we can. Try and squeeze as many practice sessions out of it before it becomes completely unusable. And I am going to go with a different setup. I'm going to go with a lot more front wing, so I'm going to go with an 8.5 on the front wing. I'm actually going to go with a bit more rear wing as well, because our car isn't amazing, so there's a higher chance that we're going to need to kind of push that extra rear wing up a little bit. And then going to go just a little bit more with the roll bar, so we're going to go with that. I'm going to bring this down a bit this time, so about there, and again, I'm going to zero out the toe. So we have our 2 slightly different setups, and let's kind of get a feel for how we are going, shall we? I did move the mod file back to its original position inside the file structure that I'd moved just for my own personal. I thought it wouldn't make a difference where it was in, as long as it was in the packs folder, and it broke a couple of drivers' helmets. I've put it back where it was. Hopefully that will fix, you know, the broken helmets, which were for the Sauber drivers and Hamilton. Don't think anyone else was affected, but we'll be able to check on that as we go. Evening, Tony.
Radio check. Copy loud and clear. We'll need good warm up on the brakes.
So we've got quite a few reserves running. We've got
Radio check.
Ugo running for McLaren. Nagel is running for for Red Bull. Mini is getting a run out for Alpine. No idea who this is, so we'll check in a second. Or this. Tim Tramnitz and Bobby Schwartzman getting a run out for Audi. Nobody in the car for Aston. So let's take a look. Who are those mystery drivers? Kean Shields and Biba Javed running the cars that I did not know who they were and still don't. Actually, I think I know Kean Shields, but yeah, Bibba, no idea. So Tim's out, and we can see he is running Nico Hulkenberg's helmet. So we have fixed Hulkenberg's helmet. I'm assuming that is Hulkenberg's car. You're racing a very wet Melbourne tonight. Yeah, we are potentially racing a very wet Suzuka. We'll have to see how that goes. But we do have Hulkenberg's helmet back, as you can see. So that's promising. We'll have to wait for some of the other drivers to make their way out. You see that Revolut sponsorship on the side of Audi. Revolut have actually been confirmed as the official title sponsor for the 2026 season for Audi. I'm assuming it's going to be a long-term partnership. Well, I'd say long-term, at least a couple of seasons, I would imagine. You're going to try a no-stop strategy. Interesting. How is your pit crew? If your pit crew is good, might be worth just going for the pit stops. Or, you know, how light is the predicted tyre wear? If you think the AI isn't going to make many stops, it might be, or many of the AI will make stops. It might be worth just pushing the tyres, making a stop, and getting potentially some very good points in the DHL competition. Alright, so Sights is out. Once again, and I think I know why. I think it's because I kept forgetting to actually apply. We are on that, and we shouldn't be. There we go. I don't think I clicked on apply. So that might hurt the frame rate a little bit. But should helpfully prevent some of the ghosting. Oh, it's still ghosting, is it? Is it refusing to apply that? No, it is switched off. It's just ghosting a little bit. Anyway, well, this circuit is one of those ones where I think it is kind of inherent to get some ghosting. It's not as bad as it would be with DLSS on, that's for sure. Who else is out at the moment? Gasly's out. There he is. Gasly's helmet is always fine. Lawson's out there. His helmet should be working again. Even though I moved it. Let's have a look. Yes, he still has his helmet, so that fixes hell. Despite me removing the folder. Now let's speed time up a bit.
And try to work on your front tires.
So wait for Hamilton to come out to check his helmet, waiting for Bortoletto. Bortoletto isn't running, is he? He's Bobby Schwartzman, and that is Bortoletto's helmet there. So we fixed both of the Audi cars. Still waiting on Hamilton to make a move. But I'm expecting to see a yellow helmet on his car. Here he comes, and there we go. We've fixed Hamilton's helmet, put that back on. So there we go. Everybody now has their own helmets, apart from Yuki Tsunoda, because there are no Tsunoda variants that do not have Red Bull slapped all over the side of them. Unfortunately, that would work in this situation. And Isaac Hadjar, who is just going to run a generic Red Bull helmet, which we should see modelled here by Nagel. It's still a really good helmet. It still ties in really nicely. Much better than the default helmet that the game provides. And I don't know why they didn't do this in at Frontier when they designed generic helmets for each team. I don't know why they didn't just put some kind of generic branding on there. So just stick the Red Bull logo on the Red Bull cars, which could then work for the RBs as well. You know, just stick a Mercedes badge on there for, you know, Mercedes, which could also technically work for Williams and McLaren. Although it would have been better to have just like the McLaren swoosh or something, and the W for Williams on the helmet. You know, just something rather than the really bland, nondescript rubbish that we got. It is safety clerk. Don't know if you're going to be press ganging you into service tonight or not, but I hope you're standing by at the ready.
Any comments though?
Yes. That's good. Thank you.
All right, we
Copy
have
that.
feedback, and 83%. That's not bad. Let's see how Perez feels after a couple more laps.
Any feedback on the
82. Probably running too much rear wing.
car? Understood.
Tyre's still a little cool. But with nearly half the session gone, tyres will definitely make it to the end. And I think this might become our kind of default for practice sessions going forward, is to just run the hards for the entire session in one run on day one, because the run time and the running life of the mediums and softs is dramatically reduced. So we're probably looking at having to do 2 different runs on session 2 and session 3, depending on how finicky the setup's going to be. Let's take a quick gander at George, our favourite for the win tonight. I'd say I do love the more minimalist look of the Goodyear tyres, you know, where the lettering is the indicator of the compound, rather than having a consistent band all the way around. I think it looks really nice. Looks really good from in the car as well, seeing the Goodyear Eagle logo whizzing by. Kind of stumbled across this mod completely by accident. It's available for free on Overtake, and I love it. You've got various different options. There's Goodyear, there's Michelin, Firestone, Hankook. There's another 1 or 2, I think, as well. But I always wanted Goodyear. I think Dunlop might be one, possibly. I'm not sure. But, you know, as soon as I saw the Goodyear Eagle, I'm like, that's the one. That's the one for me. So 20 minutes of the session to go. Tyres down to 50%. So we can take a look. Again, it's not going to show us tyre curve in practice. Down to 40%. These tyres are actually degrading a little bit quicker than I would have liked. But they should still make it. Just another 12 minutes, no, just over 12 minutes to go. We know that they won't go yellow until about 15%. And then they fall apart very quickly. I'm curious what our pace settings are going to be like in terms of lap times as the tyres degrade but the fuel goes down. So we've done 136s, 135s, 136s, 135s, 36, 35s, 36s. It's pretty consistent across the whole session, which is quite nice to see. Let's move Perez out of the way because he's in a slower car at the moment with that worn engine and gearbox. That might actually be why Bottas's pace has been so consistent, because he's been stuck behind Perez. So we've got him free. Let's take a look at Perez's pace then. So 37 might have been held up with some traffic. 36 and 35s, 36s, 35s. Again, potentially traffic on that lap. Back down to the 35s. And then we just pulled him over. Yeah, tyres are pretty consistent in pace as the fuel loads dropped. The pace has stayed about the same from the start of the session through to the end. Tyres have fallen away, but the fuel load has also reduced, so as one bit of the car gets worse, another part of the car gets better, and it just keeps it pretty balanced. It's kind of interesting. Into the final 10 minutes of the session. Valtteri now consistently lapping a couple of tenths quicker than Perez. Down to 26%, 25% on the tyres. Session's about to end. So they got through without a risk of puncture.
Okay, that's the flag.
I want to see what our pace is like when we get down to like 20% on the tyres as well. Yeah, look at this. Valtteri's pace, it's stayed good. And same for Perez. So this suggests that we can run the tyres down to 20% without any major drop-off in pace. These hard tyres are very durable, even with low wear levels. That is good information. I'm still in that mindset of tyres are getting close to 30%, got to get off them. But we can potentially run these down to, at a real push, 15%. Then they'll go yellow, and then at 10% they go orange, and we're almost immediately about to puncture at that point. But we can run these tyres down to 20%, I think, quite comfortably in a race, and shouldn't be too adversely affected.
Yeah, copy.
We'll probably have to give that a try. I doubt it'll be in this Grand Prix, given the weather forecast, but you never know. All right, getting prepped then for session 2. Let's take a quick look at our setup. So, biggest issue is our cornering and stability. We're going to leave that as it is, but it does mean we're going to need to change this. 83% also kind of indicates we might need to change the traction. So I'm going to preemptively move that there. So, oh no, that's quite possibly the wrong way. Yeah, let's go to a 5.5. Bring that out that way. That'll give us a small correction here. Give us the right kind of correction we need here and here. A small correction here. I'm going to try that. See if that works. I might have gone completely the wrong way on this. It might be a case of going to 7.3 and really bringing that down, but we'll try it. Let's take a look at Perez. So Perez is running too much rear wing. So let's bring that down to a 13. Let's bring the front wing down to something like a 7. Let's up this. Something like that. Let's push that to a 7.5. Bring that back down to a 3.10. We've got a smallish change here. We've got the right size change here. Good change here. Good change here. Let's see. Just run the one set of mediums. Don't know how many laps we can get out of these tyres. Let's put 30 laps of fuel in. Let's see if they can manage 30 laps. Let's see how these setups get on. This is our last dry session, or, you know, forecasted dry session. And let's get sent Bottas out behind Perez to fix that straight away. Meant to do that last time, but then I immediately started looking at driver helmets to make sure that I'd fixed them, and then completely forgot about it until a long way into the session.
Reminder for brake temperature.
Copy.
So one thing the modder did with this particular circuit was to slightly reduce the abrasiveness of the circuit to reflect that it had been partially resurfaced this year in reality. And he's also slightly reduced the abrasiveness of Monaco, because in reality Monaco is one of the least abrasive circuits in Formula One. But we're still looking at a kind of a 10 to 15 lap window for the softs, which is kind of track dependent, but that's our rough kind of window of running on the softs. And the mediums, I think, probably around 20, maybe 25 laps at the most.
Anything we can,
you know, for consistent pace.
keep the same.
Okay. We've been running for 20 minutes. We've done 11 laps and the tyres are already down 30%. That's quite a bit. We've got feedback from Valtteri. And oh wow, we nailed it. Absolutely nailed it. So his car is spot on. Did I get that lucky with Checo? Not quite. 93% though. It's still an improvement. We were what, 82% with Checo? So that's 11% gain. 7 more to find. And that might be just down to the roll bar, potentially. Everything else could be spot on. It could just be the roll bar that needs to change. We'll find out at the end of this run. Don't base your calculations on the hards, because it was specifically the softs and mediums that were tweaked. you know, to reduce their grip or to reduce their life. You know, the hards weren't really messed around with too much. They were made slightly more durable, I think. So yeah, don't use that as a direct comparison. See, we're down to 40%, 45% after 20 laps. I think we're looking at around 25 laps on these tyres. Maybe more. Again, we're not running them at racing temperatures. They're still outside the window. That might make them wear out slightly faster, but they're not overheating in dirty air. So in race conditions, even less. 30%, 26. Well, it looks like you might be right about 28 laps for 20%. I'm actually going to go past that. What did I put? 30 laps of fuel in, didn't I? Yeah. So we just about got 30 laps out of those tyres. But again, not genuine racing conditions. So race mileage may vary. And it is the roll bar. Look, I was right. So we should have moved that there. Fix that. That should be it. Didn't change. Save the changes. Because I didn't change the run plan for that to kick in. There we go. So these tyres, and they're much harder to keep them in the window, the temperature window. When they get too hot, they overheat and wear out very, very quickly. But when they get too cold, they also start to wear out a bit faster than normal as well, to represent the tyres blistering, as is what happens in real life. So, yeah, let's see how things go. You want to see the lap times? Let's have a look. Again, pretty consistent. 134s and 133s all the way through the session. Same for Perez. Pretty consistent pace. But again, not racing conditions. Hamilton is the quickest, ahead of Alex Albon. He has been mighty quick this season. George currently sitting third. Again, this is just practice, so we'll see the real lap times in anger in qualifying. Valtteri's done. We don't actually have to run Valtteri at all in this session. And theoretically, I don't even need to run Perez either. We're going to hand back 2 sets of soft tyres in this session, potentially. In fact, definitely, because I'm not going to mess around with running medium tyres. Let's put a set of softs on just in case I do send them out. And let's just see what kind of weather we've got. Is it going to rain?
Green light.
Just a tiny little bit. Just a little blip. That won't even go to inters. That'll stay dry. So we are just going to speed through this session. We do not need to go out. Well, I say we don't need to. I'm going to send Perez out just for a couple of laps, just to get him a little bit higher. Oh wait, we're at 100% and 100%, so it's completely down to the setup. Sending him out for a couple of laps will make no difference whatsoever. So we'll just call him in. So this will be a little bit of a boring session because
10 to 12 minutes time.
we're not going to do anything. We'll speed through it as quick as we can. It's times like this I wish we could have an option to just end session. You know, we've done everything we want to do. If I'd hit simulate, they'd have gone out and used up sets of tyres and potentially used up another set of mediums, which I do not want them to do. So we have to manually go in, make sure that they don't go out, mess the setups up, and use up tyres I don't want them using up. What I am actually going to do is I'm just going to send Valtteri out on these 15 laps and just keep an eye on the tyre wear. I'm going to leave him on neutral as well, see if that keeps the tyres in the window. I want to see what kind of wear rate we get. Oh, I don't mind watching a race. You know, the whole presentation of these live streams is that it is a full race event, whether we finish or not. But that's why I don't just focus on my cars. I like to click around and look at how other cars are doing and keep an eye on other battles, because it makes it feel like more of an actual race broadcast. That's why I run it at normal time as well. I don't speed time up during the races. I try not to put any ad breaks in there as well. I keep it, you know, if we get a safety car, I'll pop an ad break. But if we have uninterrupted running, there's no ad break in there. Alright, so Valtteri's done 12 laps and the tyres are at 50% and still not quite in the window, which is interesting. Alright, let's take a look at his pace. .132s into the 131s, back to the 132s towards the end. Interesting. We could have run those tyres a bit longer here, by the look of it. So yeah, we ended up with what, 50%? 46% in the end. So we could have probably got another 4 or 5 laps out of those tyres. So maybe we can get up to 20 laps out of a set here in ideal conditions. And that is it for practice. So, we're at 60% driver prep, based on one bit of feedback, I'm guessing. Well, no, not even that. But once that setup satisfaction goes through, we should be at 100%. This will be the last race that Checo is affected by sponsors. He should be back to normal after this. He has got an equal car now to Valtteri.
Qualifying is coming up, and the drivers will be ready and raring to go.
Suzuka is a notorious circuit, both for its unpredictable weather and the difficulty of closely following other cars. Making the right call on when to head out to avoid traffic and dirty air can make all the difference here.
Let's talk about Mercedes for a moment, Karun. Where's their driver going to be at right now?
Did you like that little headshot there of Gabriel Bortoletto? We will see him on the podium if he gets there.
Times than that today to earn a solid position on the starting grid.
And with that, let's get back onto the track.
In fact, with the current lineup that we have on the grid, we'll always see a podium until somebody who doesn't have a head model pops up. Right, let's swap out these damaged parts. There we go. And We are ready. Could have wet weather in qualifying. Let's take a look.
Green light.
A little bump of water there. So I'm going to go out and hit the track before that happens. And so is Behrman. So is Seitz. So is George. Well, it looks like a lot of cars are going to hit the track before that little bump. Because the track will devolve slightly.
Sync all the gears.
Copy. Brake warming reminder.
Copy.
So yeah, pretty much the entire field. Just there we go. That is the entire field coming out. So no worries about catching somebody popping out in front of us on our run. But if there is a yellow flag, somebody's run could get spoiled. For example, the lead Ferrari, is it Leclerc or Hamilton? It's Leclerc. If Leclerc has a little off and goes yellow on his push lap, there's a lot of cars very close behind that could all be affected.
And track is clear, track clear. Will be charge button off for last corner.
Let's sit back and try and get as full screen
You should have no
a
traffic
look
issues.
from the cockpit as we can, with minimal
Good to go.
interference.
So you're in a good position.
And we'll check the leaderboard when we're done. So I think those 96s are the tyre temps. Or I think they're supposed to represent the tyre temps. I don't know if they actually change. Oh, yeah, they went down to 95. George in front of us, pulling away from us and closing in on the car in front of him. And it looks like he's going to try and make a move into 130R as well. Backs out of it. So George's lap's going to be slightly compromised here in the final sector. Up to the Casio triangle.
So at the moment you have P2.
Through final curve.
Copy.
And across the line. Tenths down to 91.
Currently,
It's an RB.
P4.
I thought it might have been.
Mode in.
And let me take a look at the tyres. Yeah. These are the tyre temps.
Watch for traffic.
That's kind of cool. I never really paid any attention to to that before, so that's kind of good that we can actually see our tyre temps on the wheel if we're riding cockpit. Perez.
So we have some drivers reporting
Might be
very
quicker.
light rain. Yep.
He is. Perez is quicker. Not the greatest opening lap of Valtteri. We're down in 18th. Perez in 14th so far. Russell stuck in 15th. Is it Lawson he was stuck behind? No, I think... Where is Valtteri? There's Valtteri. Yeah, it was Lindblad. We got that little bit of water falling now. What's my tyre wear at? A reminder, once again, we are locked from seeing the actual wear rate of the AI tyres. It's a deliberate choice I made to block that out so that we can never see.
Italy.
Speed limiter on, please.
You somehow
And
have
stop on the
380
marks.
yards in this game. Those are rookie numbers. You've got to pump up those numbers.
Okay.
I mean, you got more hours than me on the PC, but on the PS5,
Okay, just stop at the marks.
a lot. Off the top of my head, I'm not entirely sure, but I would not be surprised if I'm now over 1,000 hours on the PS5 version. I easily cleared that on the PS4, on the 2023 PS5 version. But then I run the races like this at at normal speed, so each race weekend is 3 to 4 hours, depending on whether it's a sprint or not. Let's see, 89%. So I don't know if these are going to be good enough to get us through on another run. We might have to just gamble on a new set of tyres at the end. So that kind of changes things a little bit. Plus, I've spent a lot of time just building logos on the PS5 as well, and some of those can take hours and hours and hours. So McLaren currently locking out the front row, or first and second in this session. Grid won't be decided for the top bits until Q3. Then it's Hamilton from Ocon, Tsunoda, Verstappen, Alonso, Hadjar, the Audis 9th and 10th. Leclerc down in 11th. Everyone running so close also did kind of meant that a few cars were definitely tripping over each other. You can see the grip curve has plateaued during this little bit of weather here. It will start to really ramp up again soon. We want to be on track here on a brand new set of tyres, so we're going to need to think about going out now, I think. Just to give us plenty of time to get back round, get a new set of tyres on, and then try and pick a bit of time where we can try and get out with minimal traffic.
And if you want, you can go to mode warm-up.
Yep. Let's get plenty of brake temperature, if you can, please. Copy.
So let's pay attention to the tyre temperatures on the warm-up. Again, this may vary from circuit to circuit, but we have seen on some circuits that we've been starting the flying lap with tyres outside of the operating window, although they do reasonably quickly get into that window. See how things are here at Suzuka.
No rain expected.
Copy.
So track's starting to dry back up again.
Rain. Let me know on track conditions.
It's not going to be ideal conditions for our flying lap here, but again, we're not trying to top the timings with this lap. Trying to just get that confidence a bit higher.
Clear.
See if we can get a little bit of an improvement. The real pressure run's going to be at the end of the session with
Okay,
brand
Jack
new
is
set
good.
of softs.
Mode push, good to go.
Tyres just outside the window. But they should hopefully be in the window as we go through the S's. Still not in the window. So we come out of the centre S's into Dunlop. Bit of traffic there, getting out of the way. Don't think we were held up, but we might get held up by the Alpine here. Through Degners 1 and 2. Now the tyres are in the window. That took half a lap as we go through the hairpin into 220R. And outer spoon. Into 130R, one of the most famous corners in Formula One. Not really as terrifying as it used to be when you go back 20, 30 years. Through the Casio triangle, out through final curve, across the line. And that's our tyre temps.
You're currently P17.
We did maybe get a slight improvement from Valtteri, I'm not sure. Improved in the second and third sectors, not in the first. No improvement for Perez. So yeah, Bottas was slightly quicker. I do mean slightly. Less than a tenth quicker. He actually lost a tenth in the first sector, so had he had a good first sector, then he could have been improved all the way across the lap. Perez, slower by a fair bit. Where did he lose time? He lost half a second in the final sector. Lost a tenth in the middle. A tenth in the first sector. So I think he might have hit a little bit of traffic somewhere in sector 3. And we trundle back to the pit lane. Less than 5 minutes in the session, we got time to get some new tyres on and then try and pick a moment to go out to avoid the worst of the traffic.
In front of the garage.
Mercedes really aren't where I expected them to be at the moment. Antonelli's just gone up to P15. Well, he's in P15. Russell is down in 17th place. He's on an in-lap. Yeah, it looks like he had a bad first sector. Lindblad up to 14th. He was half a second quicker than George in the first sector. So, pre-race favourites struggling a little bit. Currently in the drop zone. We've got both Ferraris and Antonelli on outlaps. It's a little too early, I think. There's still a lot of cars on the circuit making their way back to the pits. Time's ticking away as well. Some of these guys might not be able to get a good second run in. George should just about have enough time. Yuki Tsunoda on a flyer, I think. Oh no, he's looking slow. Yeah, he's on an in-lap. So Tsunoda's through at the moment. Probably safe as well. Don't want to leave it too much longer. I'm going to go now with our cars. So, this is where it gets down to the nitty-gritty.
Keep warming up the brakes.
Hamilton about to start his flying lap. He's going to catch us at some point. Don't know if we're going to get in his way or not. Then next up we'll have the second Ferrari of Charles Leclerc, closely followed by Antonelli. Those guys I don't think will catch us. And it's now too late for anyone else to go out. So we shouldn't really have any issues with traffic. Apart from possibly Hamilton. 31-1 in the opening sector. It's not purple. And I'm really worried that we're going to hit Hamilton in the S's here. This is not a great place to be stuck behind a slow-moving car. Even through the beginning of Dunlop's a really bad spot. When you get about halfway round, the AI tends to pull over at Dunlop. But that can slow you down into the Degners quite dramatically here. I think Perez will be fine.
We're looking good.
Bottas is going to have to pull over.
Good to go.
Hamilton goes purple in the middle sector. We might have given him a slight slipstream down the back straight there into 130R.
And track is clear, track clear.
It's a 31-2 for Antonelli, 31-1 for Leclerc, matching Hamilton, 31-3 for Hulkenberg, 31-4 for Gasly. Perez is starting his lap. And here comes Valtteri. Oh no, I've got the wrong way round. It's Perez he pulled over, so he's going to get caught up here. Move out the way, please, Lewis. (31.5) for Valtteri in the first sector. And we've actually got away with that with Perez. And you see, halfway round Dunlop, the AI moves over. Perez does a 31.4. That's an improvement, a personal best in the first. Piastri's just gone purple in the middle sector. This is going to be a very quick time for Moscow. In fact, Mclaren might have potentially brought some upgrades here. Russell is out. Russell is out in P18. Antonelli is through. Valtteri's not improving. I think Valtteri might be out here. There's a chance for Perez to sneak through. If we can find a tenth of a second, we'll knock out Arvid Lindblad. He's up in the middle sector as well. He's up 3/10 so far on Bottas's time. Bottas crosses the line, does not improve at all. He's out in 19th. Can Perez get through? Yes, he can. And we knock out Arvid Lindblad. Albon sitting on the danger zone, but there's nobody below who can improve. So Albon is safe. Everyone else there is safe as well. So it's Lindblad out in 17th. Russell, double winner in China, out in 18th place. Valtteri in 19th. And it's Colapinto 20th. Sainz in 21st. Williams not looking particularly strong at the moment, which is a bit of a shock. And Behrman is out in 22nd. We have managed to sneak Perez through into Q2. So into prep for Q2. Going to be starting on the inters. Let's see what the track water level is. 2.61 mil. We are at 100% set up there for Checo, which is nice. How does the AI behave to the new tyre deck? They can push as hard as they like, and the tyres shouldn't overheat. They, I think, will pick the best strategy available given the tyre choices that they have available to them. But if they do push, they can still overheat the tyres in dirty air. So they can still burn through the tyres quicker than the predictions, which means that they can make more stops than needed. But they shouldn't have a huge spate of punctures. You know, we saw a couple of punctures at the end of Australia, but again, that was a race that was very much strategies were thrown out the window at the beginning with that early safety car. Right, let's take a look at what is going to happen with the rain. Looks like it's going to get worse, so we should probably go out and do a couple of laps. Now, if I'm reading that right, track is going to get worse and then might slightly improve again towards the end, but I think it's generally going to be a little bit... it might get back to this kind of level, might be a little bit lower here, I don't know. It says it's going to be dry, but that's in 10 minutes. I doubt that. See, the rubber's just going to get washed away. So this is theoretically the best time. Grip level's at its highest right now as well. So this is the best kind of time to get out, I think. We've got one other car on track. That's Albon. Lawson is out actually right behind us. There's Lawson. Evening up, Joe. Or is it Opyo? I'm surprised more cars haven't come out. Maybe our weather centre, which is also being used as part of the sponsors, I think. Maybe our weather centre is a little bit wrong. Maybe it is going to dry up. In fact, looking at the weather forecast here, I think, yeah, it may well dry up. Because the rain is going to ease off.
Tires button off for
But it means that at least this lap will be a clean lap. Reminder, if you are curious about any of the mods that are being used, they are linked in the video description down below. Some are from a Patreon account, so they're locked, unless you have a membership. But for the vast majority of the ones that I'm running, that are Patreon ones, that they are liveries that you can find suitable alternatives for free on Overtake. The rest of the mods all come from Overtake. There's only a couple that are irreplaceable, one of them being the Facepack Mod. There are plenty of Ferrari liveries on Overtake. There is a variation of the monster McLaren we're running by a different modder that's free on Overtake. There are all sorts of liveries for different teams. All the helmets have come from there, and the 2025 DLC, which again is free on Overtake. So there's very little that you would need if if you wanted to try and reproduce this yourself from Patreon. Apart from obviously the Cadillac pack, which is Patreon only. But again, you could substitute Cadillac for any one of a number of different team options that are available. We were running Nissan on our first attempt of a modded series, which is available for free on Overtake.
Copy.
And here comes the rest of the field. So is the track about to dry up? And we're going to be at the back of that as we do another sort of prep lap before we run again. So if this is the optimal window to be running, we're at the back of the train, which is excellent. We are slower than Albon and Lawson. How much by? Oh, yeah, nearly 9/10 of a second slower than Lawson. Although Lawson was right at behind. That's a lot though compared to Albon. We did a 1:39.8, so 1.4 seconds slower than Albon's time. Tyres have definitely been in the temperature window though on this lap. Slightly less fuel as well.
No more rain expected.
Okay, copy.
And yeah, track is starting to dry up, look. So hopefully we'll be able to improve over Albon and Lawson, who are going to go straight back to the pits and we'll sit there for a little while. And then theoretically we should be able to go a little bit quicker than some of these cars, because the track will be slightly better for us than it will be for them. But only slightly. We will have a slipstream, but I don't know how effective that's going to be. It's a Gasly that we're tucked up behind.
At the moment we are good. Watch for traffic.
There will be mode push for last corner, mode push.
Let's see, we can do better this time round. I mean, we should improve anyway, because the track will be drier than it was when we did our first lap. But I don't know how bad the dirty air effect is going to be from Gasly. Bortoleto running wide on turn 1. That's on his in lap, I think, no. No, it's not. It's his flying lap. 34.7 for Perez, 34.0 for Antonelli. He's the quickest of the bunch. Is he out front? Yes, he is. Everyone else getting some form of dirty air. Leclerc had a good run as well, also a 34.0. We are slower than Gasly. Antonelli goes purple in the middle. But we are improving on our previous run. So Antonelli has set the benchmark of a 136.4, but the track is still getting drier. So times are going to plummet. Our weather forecast was wrong. Oh, look at everyone queuing up to get out of the way. Anyone coming across the line. So we did improve. We managed to beat Lawson's time by half a second. So that's a big improvement considering we were nearly 9/10 slower. It's just matching, actually. Identical time to Albon. But that's not encouraging in the grand scheme of things when you consider the difference in water level. So how dry is it going to get? Where's my mouse? There it is. It says dry in 5 minutes, but I think that's going to be... Well, that basically just means it'll be at 0.99 or even just clicked to 0.1, to 1.00. There's kind of a chance that it might be 1.00 with DRS active or 1.00 without DRS active. So I think it's still going to be inters. I don't think we can take that gamble for softs. We'll keep an eye on how quick the track is drying up and try and make an educated guess. We'll also try and pay attention to what the AI is going to do with their tyres. If we see anyone going out on softs, that will probably indicate that it will be dry enough for softs. And everybody filing back to the pits.
Pit
Whoops, daisy. There goes Bortoletto.
Slippery pit lane, be careful.
Copy, guys.
Oh, and he's going to have to do another lap as a result. He might run out of fuel here. Yeah, you did it. So Bortoletto could actually potentially red flag the session here. That would make things very interesting, because that could clear the weather up. Let's see if he makes it back. We're prepped for one last run. We're at 1.65. There's still 4 minutes till the end of the session. We're going to need to go out with about 2 minutes 20, 2 minutes 30 to go. So we've got about a minute and a half before we need to make a decision on tyres. Which should just about give us enough time to see if Bortoletto makes it back or not. No, he's out of fuel. And that has red flagged the session. I thought it might do. So everyone who's still in the session outside of Bortoletto will get the chance to run again. But what's the water level going to be at? It's going to be at 0.97. Ooh. It says 1.2. Well, that's where it is now, I think. So, let's time travel 20 minutes into the future. There we go, 0.97. So DRS will be active. I've paused because I want, excuse me, I want to have a look. If anything, it might get slightly wetter. So I think it is still going to be inters, but we'll see what the AI does. It's too wet for softs at 0.97. We're going to get a whole flurry of activity in a moment. There we go. Hadjar is the first to break cover. He's gone out on inters. I'm going to break cover now as well. There goes Alonso. Oh, wow. No, that was Tsunoda. One of the McLarens. There goes Alonso and Albon. Hamilton. Gasly. And there's us. Everyone's going out on inters. There's Leclerc. Verstappen. Antonelli.
You need to learn the gears.
Just Norris still in the garage. Is he coming out? He needs to come out now if he's going to come. I think Norris is going to stay in the garage. So, a one-lap shootout. Worst we can do is 15th. Which is probably what we're going to do. Unless somebody has a mistake somewhere or just a bad lap in general. Yeah, Norris is staying in. He's not running. Well, if that means he's going to make a... if he's just confident enough that he's through. Or if maybe he's going to make some changes to his car and that's going to require a pit lane start.
Track is clear. Track is clear. Start the lap.
So here we go then. How close is someone behind us? Not that close at the moment. I think it's Ocon. This is a real risk for Norris because the track has dried up and DRS is now active, which wasn't on Norris's previous run. Norris could end up getting eliminated here if he's not careful. We are the slowest in Sector 1. Yeah, that's kind of what I expected to see. I think the only car we're going to beat is Bortoletto here. And if we're extremely lucky, maybe Norris, but I doubt that. So Hadjar goes quickest, and that's really bad news for Norris. Tsunoda goes top. Piastri goes top. Norris down to 9th. Now 10th, now 11th, he is out. Hamilton goes quickest. Gasly in danger, he pops up. It's Max in danger now, and Charles Leclerc. We actually get through to 8th place. We've knocked out Max temporarily. We're down to 9th and 10th. 11th. 12th, 13th. 14th. We did out-qualify Norris though by 2 seconds. Staying in the garage, if that was by choice, was a stupid choice. Norris out in P15. Championship leader, reigning world champion, out in P15. And it's Oscar who sticks it on pole from Charles Leclerc. Yuki Tsunoda will take 3rd from Alex Albon in 4th. Hamilton 5th. Antonelli in 6th, and it's Hadjar from Alonso, Verstappen and Ocon rounding out row 5. Then it'll be Gasly from Hulkenberg, Lawson from Perez, Norris from Bortoletto, Lindblad, Russell, Bottas, Colapinto, Sainz and Behrman bringing up the rear. No penalties, so that should be the running order. We are ready for the Grand Prix itself.
It won't be long before we get underway here in Japan with 53 figure of 8 laps around this historic circuit.
Anything can happen at Suzuka, as Kimi Raikkonen proved in 2005. The Finn battled all the way from 17th to win. Will we see a similar show of will and talent today, I wonder?
Suzuka is a high-speed, high-downforce circuit with unpredictable weather. Drivers need to have total trust in their cars to make the most of this challenging figure-of-8 lap. The teams are making their final preparations down in the pit lane, ahead of today's race.
So, race day starting, track water level is going to be 4.5 mil. So that's full wets at the start. No changes to the starting grid. So we will be lining up in 14th and 19th. The big shockers in qualifying, the elimination of Lando Norris in Q2 isn't starting from the pit lane. So that was a decision that was made to stay in the pits just because they thought they were safe. And they weren't. We were 2 seconds quicker, and we were very, very slow. Valtteri lines up just behind pre-race favourite George Russell, who had an awful qualifying out in Q1. Expect him to come through the field. And it does look like it is going to switch over to Inters. We're looking at around lap 32, according to Perez, a lap 29, according to Valtteri. Either way, we are not going to be conserving the tyres, I don't think, or at least not standard. We might even need to push these tyres a little bit. Let's take a look at the track graph. It is going to get very wet here, according to the prediction, but we know our radar isn't accurate. I think it's still at level 1. Maybe pushing up to level 2, I'm not sure. But it is also being used by the sponsors, so it's even less accurate than it would normally be. So I think we can ignore this big spike, given that both of our drivers are expecting to switch around here. So that to me suggests that this either won't be as high, and what it will be certainly be nearer this area here, and then it'll be a down slide to potentially quite low at the very end. We certainly don't want to be absolutely thrashing those tyres either. We're going to leave the drivers on their current predictions, so we've got a rough kind of window to work towards, and then we can make some adjustments on the fly as the race is progressing. I don't know if we'll be able to get through using just this set of tyres. If it is around here, given the predicted wear rates and the dirty air, we may burn through these tyres and need to actually put a second set of wets on. Again, we'll have to wait and see. It may be we come off the wets somewhere around lap 20, 25, and then have to use 2 sets of Inters. We'll have to judge that one a little bit. We're going to drop 2 laps of fuel out. We will earn fuel back pretty quickly, in theory, in wet running. I am going to go very aggressive off the line just to see if we can maybe jump a place or two. Actually taking 3 laps of fuel out. I think we'll be okay on that. Again, we can do some fuel saving if we need to. We will go very aggressive again off the line. See if we can maybe steal a place on the opening lap. Let's send them to the grid for the start of the Japanese Grand Prix.
Welcome back, everyone. The final preparations are now being made as we head into the race. Could this be a big race for that man, Alexander Albon?
Not many expected to see them on the second row, but they could convert this P4 start into a great points finish.
And it'll be exciting to see just what will happen here today. Get ready, it's the Japanese Grand Prix. And it's lights out, and away we go.
Looks like a good start for Oscar, good start for Leclerc as well. Can he stick it up the inside? I think he can. And he pushes Oscar a little wide and he gets through. Perez hanging on to 14th place. There's Norris trying to push his way through. And he's got us, I think. Valtteri's dropped down a place into 20th. Oh, Norris getting just onto the grass there. And has that kept the position for us? I think it has. Yeah, we have managed to keep him behind us. George already up a place into 17th, putting some pressure on Bortoletto. We have a little look at the inside of Lawson, but that was very optimistic.
There's progress to be made.
And Leclerc is scampering at the moment.
Continue like this.
Bottas down to 21st, and the tyres are melting already. Let's cool those down.
Just concentrate on getting your tyre temps down.
Let's start to ease the fuel off, and we'll go into top-up mode on the batteries as well. Sainz has overtaken us.
Go back to doing lift and coast.
There is Valtteri running 21st now.
And charge button on.
Not a great weekend so far for Valtteri. Still ahead of Norris, and Norris has picked up some damage. Is that underfloor damage? It must be. Not sure when that got picked up. I'm thinking that was maybe through the Degners. I'm just looking on the replay. See if I can spot when that happened. We got through the Degners okay without that damage. We go wide through Spoon, maybe. Yeah, through the hairpin and he was fine. But Norris potentially with some underfloor damage here. He was fine through Spoon as well, so where did he pick that up? Oh, he picked it up on the exit of Spoon. No, sorry, through 130R, I think. Unless it might be a component, actually. Maybe it's a component. We can check that. Let's have a look. About the only thing we can still check. We got it on the first lap, and there's nothing showing on a component, so I think that is underfloor damage that Norris has somehow picked up. Take a look at his front wing just in case it's the wing. I don't think it is. Yeah, front wing's fine, so that must be underfloor damage he picked up, maybe going over the curb up through 130R while we were watching Valtteri. Tyre's still a little hot, but temperature's coming down to manageable levels. Valtteri is now in the window. He has dropped out of range of Sainz, but he should be good enough to hold Behrman back unless Behrman pushes. Just about keeping in touch with Lawson. Overtaking in these conditions could be really, really difficult. And Leclerc has got a nice 2.5 second gap over Oscar. Tsunoda's up to 3rd. So Albon's not had the best of starts, down to 5th place. Got Antonelli putting a little bit of pressure on him. Russell's still down in 17th, heaping the pressure on Bortoletto. And Norris is lining us up. Water level going up now. We had a little dip, now it's going to hit that big peak, or build towards it. So the battery's on. Here comes Norris, having a look at the inside. Oh, visibility is really bad. Take it easy, cats. Perez is just dropping away from Lawson. I do think the AI is probably pushing the tyres a little harder than us. So as we approach the end of lap 4, an update on the running order. Leclerc leads from Oscar Piastri by 2.5 seconds. Then it's Yuki Tsunoda in 3rd, Hamilton in 4th, Albon 5th, Antonelli in 6th, Alonso in 7th, Hadjar is 8th, still ahead of Max Verstappen, who's up to 9th, Ocon down to 10th, Gasly is 11th from Hulkenberg, Lawson, Perez still in 14th place, keeping Norris behind, but only just. Bortoletto 16th, Russell down in 17th, has stalled a little bit after getting past Lindblad on the first lap. Colapinto 19th, Sainz 20th, Bottas down in 21st, 22nd for Behrman, and here comes Norris having a look at the inside. Perez shuts him down and holds the position. Frustration for the McLaren driver, who knows he has more pace in his car than we do in ours. Turn our attention back to Valtteri for a second.
Yeah, copy.
Creeping up to 5 mil now on the water level. And without pushing the tyres, we're not making any inroads at all. And I don't want to push them just yet, because we know our radar's wrong. And I want to get a little bit more of an idea of what's actually going to happen to the track. We've closed back up to Sainz. Let's save some battery with Valtteri now. We will need it later.
Charge on. Yep.
Let's cut back to Perez. Once again, defending from Norris. Norris trying to go up the inside. Can't get alongside through 130R. Will he try and outbrake us into the triangle? He's a bit too far back. And it's another lap of keeping that McLaren behind us. Not many clear-cut opportunities for anybody at the moment. And actually, here comes Bortoletto having a look at the back of Norris. He's maybe eased off just a touch to cool his tyres, maybe. And maybe he just got a bad exit through the triangle, but for whatever reason, Bortoletto had a little sniff of an opportunity there. And that is probably all she wrote for that. Now George is looking a little bit feisty again. And Leclerc continues to stretch his lead. It's now 3.3 seconds. Tsunoda falling a little bit further back as well from Oscar. And without DRS, that is neutralizing the awesome power of that Mercedes just a little bit. They do have, I think, the best DRS on the grid. No chance of that being opened up until maybe the very closing stages of this race. looks like we're going to go into damp conditions in about 10 minutes. That'll be this trough here. So this crest isn't going to last this long. Let's give them a little bit more tyre while the conditions are favourable.
Pick the pace back up.
And nobody's really close enough to make a move on anyone at the moment. Everyone kind of just stuck in the dirty air. Our tyres are behaving as about expected in the tyre wear predictions. I don't know what the AI is doing with theirs. Again, they could be pushing their tyres harder than we are. And if they are, and they're stuck in this dirty air, then they will be overheating them. So it looks like our strategy for this season is just going to be to try and keep our tyre temps under control and see if we can just go longer than everybody. Limit the number of stops by 1 compared to the AI and see if we can squeeze some extra positions out that way. Worked well, worked really well in Australia. Didn't work so well in China. And it looks like overtaking is going to be nigh on impossible for us here today. And still, nobody really looking like they're about to make a move on someone. Norris is about a second behind us. Bortoleto is about a second behind Norris. Russell a little bit closer, but still not really close enough to put any real pressure on Bortoleto. Sainz and Colapinto might potentially have a little look at each other. We are starting to get a couple of gaps open up as Perez's pace has picked up. We are closing back up to Lawson a bit, who's dropped away from Hulkenberg. Hulkenberg and Gasly are separated a little bit as well. Everyone else is about a second or so, second and a half gap. Just keeping that gap, keep the tyres safe by the look of it. Tyres have actually started to get a little warm. Let's give him some battery now, see if we can close up and maybe get a look into turn 1. I'm going to hang on to Perez's battery. Sainz is actually looking a little threatening. I think we might see an overtake attempt potentially here. He's all over the back of Colapinto. Will he try and outbrake him into the triangle? No. But if he gets a good run through here and through final curve, he might have a look into turn 1. That Williams has definitely got more pace than the Alpine. Sainz has not had a great start to the season. When you compare him to Albon, currently running in 5th. Sainz has scored some points this season so far, but the majority of Williams' points have come from Albon. And the gap's gone back up. He's backed down a bit again. We saved about 1 kilo of fuel so far in the opening 8 laps. But we're still not close enough to even think of having a look. I think I might start to splurge some battery for Perez again now.
And more energy available.
Copy.
And I'm going to turn it off for Valtteri.
Charge on.
Copy.
Up to 6 mil, and there you can see that is really going to fall away quite quickly now. Just 4 minutes away from damp running. So this could have an interesting impact on the tyres. Piastri breaking away from Tsunoda. That gap's up to 3.5 seconds. He's taken about a second out of Charles Leclerc as well. Got the gap down to 2.5. Again, no one else really close enough to have a look at anyone. The water is dropping. Dropping pretty quickly as well. So it won't be long till we are into territory. It will be a brief period, I think. Don't think it's going to be a very extended period. We'll keep an eye on it, and it might not be dry enough to make that switch over to winter tyres. You might be able to just stay on the wets and tough it out.
Just take care of the tires for the moment.
Copy.
I think any real changes in the running order is going to be made in pit stops here. If we can get good stops, we should be able to at least hold position, maybe even gain a place or two. I think Valtteri maybe has a bit more pace than he can run at, but I don't know.
Gap to him 1.7. Gap behind is Norris. Norris behind at 0.9.
And I really want to know what's going on with the AI tyres. But I deliberately made that decision not to be able to see that because it just adds that extra element of uncertainty. Alright, let's save the battery. We're not closing in on Lawson,
Charge button on.
so let's save it to help us defend against Norris, who's closing back up on us. Behrman a little close to Valtteri. There is a real risk here that Valtteri might just be the slowest of the lot today. If Behrman gets past us on track, we might not be able to get the position back from him. He might just drive away from us. Norris is close. And we're going to see a look from Lando. Not here, but a good exit means he will be lined up for turn 1. He's got our slipstream. It's not really close enough yet. And he is closing. Perez has got enough to keep him at bay. That's the closest Norris has been in a while. Russell still stuck behind Bortoleto. Bortoleto now out of the slipstream range of Norris. So this might potentially give Russell an opportunity if he uses some battery, although Bortoleto is closing back up again. I think he's pushing to close that gap to defend from George. Max now thinking about having a look at his rookie teammate. I say rookie. This will be his second full season. First season in Red Bull, though. Norris is still close. Still very close. He might be about to have another look at us. He's closer than Max is to Isaac. Track down to 4.2 mil. Let's see if anyone does make that break for Inters. And we got a yellow flag. Antonelli's off. Both of the Red Bulls get through.
Single yellow, where you are.
He will have lost the place to Alonso as well, I think.
See what happened. Now we're through the last turn here.
Oh yeah, just spun it out.
To be fair though, even the best drivers in the world are going to struggle when the track's like this.
Nice to see him getting going quickly though, rather than waiting for everyone to go through. So a bad day gets a little bit worse there for Mercedes as they lose 3 places. Yeah, we are going to go back to wet conditions quicker than initially thought, so we will toughen out on these tyres. Got to watch the temperatures, they will start to climb. Still, Norris is being frustrated. Been behind us now for 12 and a half laps.
Correct.
Behrman has got through.
But this is what happened. Now with the Haas, the opportunity begging to be
Where was
taken.
this at the hairpin? Yeah, he just had that look up the inside at the hairpin. And that might be all she wrote for Valtteri today.
And the Haas completes the move.
Well, it's not actually done yet, I don't think. It's not done yet. Let's turn the battery on and see if we can outpower him.
Can you go mode push now?
Copy.
Tries to squeeze us, but we keep our car just about alongside. Have we got the power?
Do your best.
Oh, this is going to be tight. This is going to be tight. Hamilton sets a new fastest lap. Track is definitely drying up. We have the position back. Got the inside line. Again, we still need to outpower him into turn 1. And we do just get ourselves back in front.
In intensity.
And tyre temps starting to creep up a little bit.
Copy.
Piastri has closed the gap to Leclerc to just 1.4 seconds. Norris is now all over us, and George has got past Bortoletto. We missed that. And there goes Norris. I don't think I can get back through.
Use the energy.
And we can expect Lando to drive away from us now. Let's see if we can get back past him through 220R though. Oh, we got a crash. Bortoletto and Lindblad are out. It's a full safety car.
Safety car, safety car. Charge on. Stay as close as you can to 0.
I think they're
And
both
they're
out.
bound to be struggling with the wet track. The cars coming together right there. Who was at fault? Well, there'll definitely be fingers being pointed.
Yeah, that was definitely
Not
Lindblad's
much that
fault.
the team can do about that one.
He's had a really rough start to his Formula 1 career. And he is out, and so is Bortoletto. They are both out. So, worst we can do is to finish 20th today. And we're seeing drivers boxing. Now this is interesting. Another set of wet tyres, so they did push their tyres pretty hard. We've got a chance to maybe sneak a place or two here.
Watch for debris on the circuit.
Leaders are going to get out way before we get round, but everyone's diving in. Hulkenberg has stayed out. Lawson has stayed out. Norris and Russell are both in.
So at the moment you are P15. Norris in front.
How many places can we gain here? We're going to come out behind Alonso, maybe just sneak past him. Nope, we're behind Alonso. Lindblad is confirmed on the penalty. Where is Valtteri going to get out in front of? In front of Verstappen, just behind Gasly. So if we can make these tyres work through this next period and then go on to the Inters,
Okay.
we could be looking very good here, given how hard it is to overtake in these conditions.
What about tyres?
Quite consistent.
There's certainly enough life in these tyres to stay out. And if we were going to box, we had to do it then.
Copy that.
Because now we're going to form up to the safety car queue.
Copy.
Try to reduce the hit on the curb.
But now we have a real risk of our tyres melting a little bit behind the safety car. Which is why I've got them avoiding curbs and running in clean air. Try and keep the temperatures under control so we don't destroy our rubber. So only two other cars stayed out. Nico Hulkenberg, who got himself up into 4th place. Liam Lawson up into 6th. Everyone else stopped for another set of wet tyres. Nobody went for the Inters because it's only a very short window before it goes back to wet conditions. But I don't think it's going to be a long period of wet conditions. I do think Inters will come into play relatively soon. I think within the next sort of 10 laps, 15 laps. Evening, Army. Yeah, we're doing all right. We're in a decent position at the moment, having not boxed when everyone else did. Evening, Victor. Getting our fuel saving done quite nicely here as well, so we won't have fuel issues to worry about. We'll probably even have a surplus by the time the safety car comes in. Unless it's a very short safety car, it might possibly come in at the end of this lap. Just about keeping the tyres in the window.
So reporting a lot of rain.
And the water level's starting to go back up again, which will help keep the temperatures under control. 9th and 13th. Yes, it is a nice position, but we're one of only 4 cars not to have actually stopped under the safety car for fresh tyres. So we will have a grip disparity to everyone around us. And we're not quick here at all. Managed to gain 5 places with Perez, and well, actually no, 6 places because Norris had just got past us, and 6 places with Valtteri by staying out. Hulkenberg and Lawson have also stayed out, but the rest of the field have all boxed for fresh, wet tyres. We do have more wet weather coming, as you can see, in just a few minutes. I'd like this to be another lap behind the safety car if possible. just to get us that little bit closer to going back to full wet conditions, before, you know, help keep these tyres under control so we don't get pounced on off the restart. We are going to go again by the look of it. Safety car would have come in by now, I think. Very occasionally we get a very, very late safety car entrance into the pits, but this time it is going round again. And having spent 13 laps behind us and finally getting through, Lando Norris will find himself back behind us, and this time a few places further back as well. So not a great race so far for Norris, who also has that underfloor damage, we think. Russell's had a terrible weekend so far. Max has dropped out of the points thanks to his stop and 4 cars going through. There we go, we are fuel positive now. Tyres again just on the upper limits of the temperature window. Track water level is climbing quickly though, so we shouldn't have any major issues with our tyres overheating. It's good. We might even potentially get back to 4 mil before the restart. There we go, tyres are back under control temperature-wise, almost at 4 mil. Are the lights going to go out? Is the safety car going to leave us and pull off? Yes, it is. There we go. Safety car is on its way back to the pits.
Safety car in this lap. Try to focus on these tires to get ready.
Copy.
And we need to increase pushing status.
Okay to push harder through 6 and 7 if you can.
So deployed.
Copy.
So
Mode push.
we go to green flag. No overtaking till we cross the start-finish line. Leclerc will lead the pack away.
Safety car has left the leader.
Hey, copy.
Oh, not a good restart from Valtteri. That gap's opened up already. Valtteri's not had a good weekend so far. And I am wondering if I maybe took a part off his car and forgot to put it back on. I don't think so. He should be running an identical car to Perez. Max is putting all sorts of pressure on him. Now, how long until we go back to inters? Nothing showing yet.
Charge on.
We've done what we needed to do, which was to defend the first half of the lap. Now I need to save the battery a little bit if I can. Battery immediately coming under pressure as soon as I turn this battery off. Give me a touch more tyre. Let's give Perez a little bit more tyre as well.
We're okay to push a bit harder if you can.
Piastri has got past Leclerc. I missed that. Piastri got the jump on him. Has taken the lead away. Max is all over the back of us again. Hadjar is all over the back of Perez.
DRS.
Copy, mate.
Both Red Bulls putting us under immense pressure at the moment.
Mode push, please. Mode push.
Copy.
Bottas back to safety. Perez still in trouble though. And there we go. We're looking at about 12 minutes. And then it's Inters, I think, for the rest of the Grand Prix. A little look there from Isaac Hadjar. Not quite close enough. And that's cost him a little bit of momentum and might put him at risk from a move from Antonelli behind us. Not a great exit from Antonelli. He might actually come under pressure from Gasly. Both cars running the Mercedes engine this season.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
Copy.
Charge on.
Copy.
Let's take a quick look at Nico Hulkenberg, who also did not stop. Currently in P4, Hamilton behind him. Lawson keeping Albon behind, which is slowing down Alonso and helping Perez have a chance of staying with them. Hamilton's not close enough to have a look yet, but he is getting a little bit closer. Perez again is about to come under pressure, and so is Valtteri. Tyre temp starting to creep up again. Now you see Max having a look at Valtteri in the background. He tucks back in. Hadjar has to tuck back in. And for now, we hold positions. Ride on board with Verstappen. Hadjar is also looking very, very close again. Kept him behind into turn one. Just trying to survive the rest of this stint. At least for the next half a dozen races or so, that is going to be our main strategy for the rest of the season, at least for the next half a dozen races. Probably for most of the season, is to just try and get a position and hang on to it for dear life. Hadjar has dropped back, and that's given Antonelli an opportunity to think about looking at Isaac. Max again really close still to Valtteri. I think Max is the most likely to have a look at making a move. Pulls into the clean air. It's Ford versus Ferrari. Cadillac won't be introducing their own engine until at the very earliest 2028, maybe 29. So they'll be running Ferrari power until then. But Audi are running their own engine, Red Bull running the Ford engines. Aston, the only team running Honda engines. RB also running those Ford engines. Everyone else is running either Ferrari or Mercedes. No one's running Renault engines. Evening, Alan. It's lovely to be back. So it looks like Perez has survived the initial onslaught now from Hadjar, who's coming under increasing pressure from behind now from Antonelli. Bottas is still having to work hard, but is keeping Max behind, and you can see the gap there to Gasly is closing up. That will also help Valtteri. Water level's still climbing, but we know we're not far away from it going to Inters, and judging this stop is going to be critical, I think. That's why I'm not using any more battery. I want to be able to absolutely hammer the battery on the in-lap and then hopefully on the out-lap as well. See if we can maybe steal a position, or at the very least not lose positions. Piastri has done what Charles did in the first stint before the safety car. It's just opened up a little gap. Tsunoda has hanging on to third. Hamilton has not been able to get past Hülkenberg, which I am a little surprised by. Oh, is this a chance? Oh, no, just shut the door. Again, that Ferrari is a much better car than the Audi, and it's on fresh tyres, but with the conditions and the tyre model and the realistic racing mod, it is making overtaking around here very difficult. You can count the total number of overtakes we've actually witnessed on one hand, I think, so far, not counting the pit stops. Max again very close to the back of Bottas. Norris in 16th, Russell 17th, no change for either of them. Perez does seem safe at the moment. Antonelli is very close to the back of Isaac. Will you have a look into the triangle here? Just as a little half look. And now the water level's coming down, and it's coming down pretty quickly. This is going to be the most critical phase of the Grand Prix, is judging when to go onto the Inters. Max just having a little half look into the first turn there, but not able to get through. And nobody's really able to close up to anyone again, outside of the battles that we've seen. Hamilton's still about a second behind Hülkenberg. Albon's still about a second behind Lawson. So staying out has very much proved to be the right call. Not just for us, but for the other drivers as well. And we are fast approaching into territory as this is a look. And Max finally gets through, and we are pretty much powerless to stop that
keep up with them.
Just do your best. Car behind is Ocon.
We're just 3 minutes away from dropping below 4 mil. But even then, it's not optimal to necessarily switch. Perez coming under pressure as well from Hadjar. Hadjar having a look.
Tire phase update when you can.
And Ocon now all over the back of us.
Steady. Good deck.
Max is bolting, as you would expect. And they see George making a move, or trying to make a move on Lando. Lando has shut that door. Remember, George was my tip to win this Grand Prix before qualifying, given how strong he was in China, winning both the race and the sprint. And poor qualifying dropped him down to 18th, and he went out in Q1 and hasn't really been able to move forward in these conditions. Getting very close. I'm going to up the pace of the tyres in just a moment. Another lap or two, and then we will just blitz the tyres, box, and hopefully get a good undercut. There's a big enough gap, I think, that we can box both on the same lap. As long as we don't make a mistake on the pit stop.
Tires.
Starting to slide a bit.
And Hamilton is now really ramping up his attack on Hulkenberg. Albon ramping up his attack on Lawson as well. Looks like those who did stay out, like us, starting to struggle with grip. Albon trying to out-drag Lawson. Gets alongside through 130R, and that move is done, I think. Hamilton still has not got through, but Albon is past Lawson. Perez has kept Hadjar at bay. Valtteri has kept Ocon at bay. Will Hamilton make the move into turn 1? He's looking for it. Not close enough. And we are under pressure here. And now we are going to hammer the tyres.
Copy.
Hadjar sneaks through
Maybe
and drops us down to 10th.
in intensity.
Nothing we could do to stop that, unfortunately. He just got his car enough alongside into turn 1 to stop us from closing the door. Through he goes. There we go. We're now officially into the inter window. Probably going to do one more lap. Though I may box Valtteri this lap and box Perez next lap. It's still a little early. But we are coming under a lot of pressure as Antonelli throws it up the inside. I don't think we can fight him off. Yeah, they are lining up to take a lunge at us now. Gasly's going to try and follow through.
Right, let's
And we are
concentrate.
not close enough to be able to get them on the same lap. So I'm going to box Valtteri this lap. It's a touch earlier than I would have liked, but I think we need to. Otherwise, they'll trip over each other in the pit lane.
Copy. Box.
We're going to box sprinters. Charge on.
Copy.
So, into the pits for Valtteri. First one to blink.
Box area is very slippery.
Copy.
Now we're going to box Perez at the end of this lap.
Box now, box.
Yeah, top fair.
So, box now. Box for Inters. We think Inter is match quicker.
2.6. That's okay. It's not amazing.
Clearer.
Valtteri's pit stops haven't been fast this season. We've had a couple of quick stops out of Perez in the 2.4 range, but I don't think we've cracked 2.5 yet for Valtteri, or at least the low 2.5s. And we are probably going to need to change our inters if we even try and push them for any kind of extended period. So again, it's do we try and stay out on one set of inters and go to the end, assuming that it stays in inter conditions all the way through.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
Yep.
Former teammates about to do battle here. Max lining us up. We're going to be slow out of the spoon. And I'm hoping the tyre push will give us enough grip to keep the line through 130R. Looks like we're still ahead enough. We are. Out of the triangle. Into the pits.
Charge on.
And again, no one else is boxed.
Hit me.
Slippery track. Pit exit.
So this will give Valtteri a full lap at push on the inters to try and get an undercut. Slow stop for Perez, 2.8.
And watch a wide line on exit.
I'll say this is the most critical phase of the Grand Prix for us. Perez comes out behind Valtteri.
Car in front is Bottas. Gap to Bottas in front, 1.2. 26 laps to go.
See how tight it will be on the tyres at the end.
Look after the front tires.
And we have a yellow flag. Please don't be a safety car. That will kill our chances here.
Single yellow.
Okay.
It's a crash for Behrman. That's at the Degner's, I think. Second Degner. Yep. I don't know if he is out. No, he is going. But he's got damage to his rear wing. He's going to have maybe some chassis damage as well, or some suspension damage. So we should be able to beat Behrman just on pace. We'll certainly get an undercut on him. 142 for Charles Leclerc. Let's see what Valtteri does on this lap. They're staying out again. And there we go. Lawson has blinked. Lawson, one of the only other drivers, along with Hulkenberg, who didn't stop under the safety car. His tyres have reached their limit by the look of it. Can we undercut him here?
You need to keep your K1 usage down a bit, otherwise you'll just run out of battery and then you'll just be taking.
It's going to be tight. It's going to be very tight. There he is. Can we get him?
You were the fastest car on track last lap.
Yes, we can. Perez won't be able to.
Charge on. We need to do the full management
Oh,
on this.
look how close that is. We just snuck out ahead. Behrman into the pits. He's gone inters, but he has damage, so he is done in this race. And we jumped Lawson, which is really, really good for us. Sector times, we are quicker than most of the cars that we were fighting with without push. And if I can get Perez past Lawson, I do need to try and get him past Valtteri without tripping over each other and letting Lawson through. Hulkenberg's in.
And charge button on.
Yep.
I don't think we'll undercut Hulkenberg. Monster middle sector there, 43.3 compared to the rest of the grid. A second quicker through the middle sector. No sign of us. We're just about to appear on screen. Couldn't quite see it. Hulkenberg gets out in front of Sainz. So Hulkenberg's on for a really potentially good race, but now he's going to be stuck trying to fight his way through traffic.
This focus is a long race.
Before they stop. If the AI stays out a while yet, which they may well do, they may not box till around here when the track starts to really fall away from them in about 5-10 minutes. And Hulkenberg immediately gets that move up the inside. So much more grip on the inters in these conditions. And he can now set his sights on hunting down George Russell and Lando Norris. This is going to be a great result for Nico today. Don't know if he's going to be in contention for a podium, but he's certainly going to be in contention for strong points. We might be in contention to sneak a point here.
Okay, let's get on it. Still everything to play for.
Alonso is in. A new secondary home Grand Prix for Aston Martin with Honda as their engine manufacturer. That's a good stop. Antonelli's in as well. Inters for him. We're going to start to see the rest of the field coming in soon. We're not going to jump Alonso, but we might well jump Antonelli here. There we are. Will Valtteri get through as well? Yes, he will. That is excellent. We're doing 142s. The rest of the grid's doing 143s and 144s. I'm not counting the front two because they're just too quick. Hadjar did a 145. So we should get our position back from him. And Sainz was 3 seconds slower than us on that last lap. We're going to be coming up against him very soon, and that's a big snarl of traffic. I want them to box just as we're catching them. And Piastri's in from the lead. Leclerc has gone around for another lap.
Behind you.
And that, I think, is probably going to be the win for Piastri then. Because there's not a big snarl of traffic coming that's going to get out in front of Oscar. Hamilton and Albon are both in. Maybe that's why Leclerc didn't box, because they were bringing in Hamilton, but they had time to do them both on the same lap. In comes Gasly. Albon will slot out behind Lewis Hamilton. Norris and Russell are in. Sainz is in. So some of that traffic is getting out of our way. There is Valtteri. There's Perez. Keeping Antonelli at bay. Tyres have dropped out of the window. We have to push the inters a little bit harder, which means we're probably going to need to make another stop on these inters then. Don't think we'll be able to go the distance. Not unless the track really dries up and the temperature windows start to spike a bit. Antonelli is storming all over the back of us, trying to find a way through. Some solid defending here from Perez. The question is, how long can he keep it up? Let's give him a little bit of battery to try and ease the pressure. Oh, we've got a puncture for Colapinto.
Copy.
There he is. Oh, get out of the way. Get out of the way. There we go.
Way to go.
So Colapinto stayed out just a little bit too long on those tyres, and it's cost him. And that should mean that we will achieve 18th or higher with both drivers. We are fast closing in on Esteban Ocon. We're going to jump him, that's for sure. Hadjar and Verstappen are both in at the same time. Ocon coming in as well. And we're going to puncture for Hadjar. Hadjar's punctured on the way into the pits. Literally on the way into the pits. Look, there we go. His tyre popped as he turned into the pits. He got lucky in that respect. Max lucky in that respect as well. He's still going to have to stack and wait. Good stops for both Red Bulls there. Like clockwork, turning them over. But it does mean that Ocon will jump out in front of Verstappen, because he did have to sit and stack. Colapinto limps his way into the pits. And we are running 8th and 10th right now, and Leclerc still hasn't stopped. Surely he's going to stop this lap.
No management required.
Yeah,
We're under 3 mil on the
Try
track.
to keep it smooth.
He has to box.
copy.
It's going to be so slow if he's not in the pits. Here we go. Into the pits. He will lose the lead to Piastri. I don't know if Tsunoda's going to be close enough, but he might challenge him. It will be tight with Yuki Tsunoda. It's a bad stop. It's a really bad stop. And Yuki has a chance. Ferrari right near the front of the pit lane, so it's a long way to go yet before he gets on track. Tsunoda's going to be arriving at speed. There is Leclerc. Tsunoda's going to get him. And Yuki's up to second. What a dream move for Honda. Hamilton sets a new fastest lap, a 140.4.
And just a reminder on your eyes.
Copy.
Now Norris with a 139.6. Antonelli still cannot find a way past Checo Perez, who's still burning his battery. I didn't even realise that, damn it.
And charge button on.
Copy.
I think Antonelli will get us sooner or later. It's a question, I think, of when, not if. This might be it, actually. Perez shuts the door. If we can just make these tyres go the distance, we could be on for an amazing result. How hard is the AI pushing their inters? Antonelli's tyres must be going through the roof temperature-wise. He's been tailgating our gearbox like crazy. New fastest lap for Fernando as the track continues to dry, 139.5. Russell now the quickest on track, 139.5 for him as well. Now it's Sainz, now it's Ocon and Verstappen, 139.1. Times are tumbling, and you can see how quick they're going compared to us. I'm not trying to go hunting because we don't have enough tyre to play with, but I have got some spare battery for Valtteri, so let's
Mode push,
at least see
please.
if we can put a little bit of a gap between us and Lawson. Antonelli has had to back out a little bit, probably to protect his tyres. Or maybe just to refill his battery again. Oh, Behrman. Did he just pick up some damage? I think he picked up some underfloor damage. Oh no, he's got that wing damage. We know Norris has underfloor damage. Picked that up on the opening lap. Going through 130R. It's nearly very close again. Here he comes. Tyres are staying nicely in the temperature window at the moment. It's turned out into a bit of a disaster for Red Bull. They were running really well earlier on. They're now down in 15th and 18th place. Track is potentially going to get a little bit drier over the next few laps and then start to get a bit wetter again. But we're on inters for the rest of the race by the look of it. The livery on the car is beautiful. It is a really nice livery. It's from the Mr. Only Patreon. There are 3 variants. There's a gold variant instead of yellow and a blue and white variant as well. We will run all 3 of them at some point on this career file. But we're probably going to stick with the same livery for next season. There we go, let's turn the battery back off. So we're at 79% on tyres. Slightly above the predicted wear rate, which is good. So we can take these to the end. If the AI does box, how much pace will they have though on fresh rubber? That is the question. Evening, Adrian. If I can bring our boys home here in 8th and 10th, that would be amazing. And they're starting to queue up behind Perez. Antonelli still hasn't been able to get through. Gasly's close right up to him, and now Norris and Russell have joined the fight as well. It's right on board with George. Every team is running a revised livery this season. Some are very subtle changes. It's not much of a change to the Mercedes, but there is more silver on the car, and the neon teal swoops have relocated from the top to the bottom of the side pod. Mercedes, very, very subtle changes. McLaren have got a big M for Monster on the side of their car this year instead of MasterCard. Antonelli has got past Perez. Damn it. Yeah, just had the inside line through 130R. That's been coming a long time though, so can't grumble too badly.
Yes, let's go.
And we know how strong a car that Mercedes is this year. One of my favourite liveries of the new ones is this. I think this is beautiful. The Racing Bull Ford.
Car behind is
I think in just blue and white like that, it looks gorgeous.
There's progress to be made.
There's the revised McLaren with the monster branding. Alpine running just pink. I think this is the livery they ran in Vegas last season. There you can see just that little bit of extra silver on the top of the car, and then the swoops go below the Petronas branding as opposed to across the top. Red Bull has Ford branding on it. Very, very subtle changes on the Haas. You can see Williams, kind of a throwback livery to the 2000s.
Do your best.
The Aston looks really nice as well with the Honda branding and the white side pod. And then the Ferrari is just something a little different. I do have a darker variation of that, which we'll be seeing soon as well. And we have a Revolut branded Audi as well. Is that all of the teams? I think that's all the teams, yeah. All right, fuel is now potentially going to be a little bit of an issue, so let's just ease that off a little bit.
We need to do more lift and coast. Please increase by 10%. Yep.
Valtteri's looking pretty good in 8th place. Perez just outside the points. I don't think he's going to get there now unless Antonelli needs to make another stop, which, given how long he was stuck behind and how hard he was trying to get through, his tyres might not make it. So there is still a chance that we could jump another place. I mean, there's even a chance that some of the other drivers in the top 10 might stop as well and push Valtteri even further up the order.
Tyre phase update when you can.
That seems to be holding
Perez
okay.
just dipping out of the window slightly for Valtteri and now for Perez. It's getting a little cooler. I think the rain's about to start falling again. Yeah. Let's give them a little bit of push for a few laps just to get the core temperatures up a bit. And then we'll ease them down again. Tyre management is going to be critical with the new tyre wear mod that we're running. Russell desperately trying to find a way past Norris. It's a huge gap for Oscar. This race is his. I don't know if Leclerc will be able to catch Tsunoda. He's on fresher tyres, but that doesn't necessarily mean much around here in these conditions with realistic racing making it very hard to overtake. We're still, I think, in single-digit overtakes. We might just have made double digits. Gasly looking very close. And now we're seeing Lando having a lunge. Gasly will get a slipstream from us. Russell will get a slipstream from Gasly. Norris could be in trouble into turn 1 if he's not careful. Pulls back in to cover himself off. Alonso and Albon starting to ease up on the back of Hamilton, who's on the back of Hülkenberg again. Ride with Fernando.
suggests that you can reduce the amount of lift and coast at turn 1.
Copy.
I've got some spare battery to play about with Pacheco. Let's try and just
more
get a little bit of
energy
safety to
available.
Gasly if we can,
Copy.
while we're running the tyres a little bit hotter. We're not going to catch Antonelli on pace. He opened up a 5-second gap like that, and he's only slowed down again because he's stuck behind Lawson. Hamilton closing in on Hulkenberg again. Gap is about half a second. He's definitely close enough to try and make a move through 220R or towards the end of the lap. And you see Albon and Alonso right there as well. So he needs to get past Hulkenberg or he's going to start coming under pressure himself. Russell again all over the back of Lando Norris. And look at Verstappen pushing on Ocon, pushing on Sainz, pushing on Hadjar. They're all right behind us as well. Would I recommend the game? Yeah, if you like Formula One, yes. Yeah, if you like management games, maybe less so. It is a little shallow in some places. It's still a fun experience. Definitely worth picking up a copy if it's on sale, and I would recommend that you play it without mods for a while so that mods can then introduce more value for money later down the line. If you go straight in with the mods, then you're going to burn all of the extra prolonging of the game that you can get out of it. I mean, I played this for 2 years on the PS5. Well, not 2 years, but I played it solidly for over a year on the PS5 before I got the PC version. Feels like 2 years, the amount of time I spent on it on the PlayStation. Ease the battery back down again. Save some for the closing stages of the Grand Prix. Russell again trying to find a way through. Leclerc has caught up to the back of Tsunoda. He's now within a second. So we could have a battle for second here. If you are running it on PC, you will have the better experience, but it's still a fun experience on console. And when it comes to running your own team on console with the sort of create a team option, there are a ton of livery and sponsor tutorials that I've stuck on my channel. If you want to run Cadillac on there, or you want to do the classic Marlboro McLaren, for example, or that livery, and maybe call it Penske. Bring Penske over, because they ran it in IndyCar in the 90s as well. There's a Camel livery if you want to do the classic Lotus from the early 90s. Brabham. Holden if you want to go Australian. Even Skoda and Volvo liveries. There's Lamborghini as well. There's all sorts of stuff on there. So there's plenty of options to try and give you a bit of extra creativity. If you wanted to do Ford, I've got a really, really strong Ford logo tutorial as well. Cadillac is by far the most popular one out of all the ones I've done, simply because Cadillac are definitely on the grid next year in reality. But I'm probably most proud of the Ford one. There's Porsche as well. As I say, there's a whole ton in the playlist.
Slow down now.
Okay.
Perez has been slowly closing back in on Antonelli and Lawson, but only slowly. Now he turns his tyres down, that might change a little bit. But again, our tyres could be in better shape than the cars we're chasing. Hamilton has got through. Albon and Alonso have got through as well. Hulkenberg's down to 7th now. Valtteri's actually closing him down. He took a second out of him on that last lap. I don't know if Hulkenberg made a mistake somewhere. But he's lost 3 places pretty quickly. Leclerc now fighting for second with Yuki Tsunoda. Oh, we locked up. Thank you, Adrian. Yeah, I completely missed it. Oh, this is close for Leclerc. He's within striking distance. Needs a good exit here through the Casio Triangle and through final curve to get a run into turn 1. I don't think he's close enough. He's not. He's not going to be close enough. As we interspoon here with Gasly chasing down Checo. Antonelli is through on Lawson. So he's going to be going after Valtteri. Valtteri might yet lose a place here. That Mercedes, probably the strongest car on the grid right now. How's our tyre wear looking?
And we need to
Water level's going to pretty much even out now.
30%.
So it's not going to get much worse than this. And we still got life in the tyres. I think we can actually just leave the tyres on that higher push.
So we need to push.
And probably just in time as Gasly's having a look.
The tyre guys believe that we can increase pace.
Ah, he's got us.
A little bit.
Damn it, he got us.
Copy. Sitting bad on the streets.
Alright, let's concentrate.
Are the tyres going to finish? Ours will. I don't know about the AIs. I don't know how hard they've been pushing.
And charge button on. Charge button on.
Copy.
Yeah, Antonelli is definitely quicker than us. We are kind of matching pace with Hulkenberg, keeping that gap around 4 to 5 seconds. Just turn the tyres back up. That'll help.
Right behind you. A long way to go.
Now the hardest thing is going to be trying to keep Norris from getting past us. He's going to be very, very quick. He'll certainly put us under more pressure than Gasly did. I think Gasly just caught us napping with some ERS, sorry, while I was looking in the menus. We are definitely running higher than the car should be able to run. And that's just because we've been brave with the tyres staying out when everyone else boxed. Here comes Lando. Can we shut him down? We can just.
And Norris behind.
Antonelli getting closer. Leclerc still hasn't been able to get past Tsunoda. Lining him up for another run though.
No lift off needed. You are doing a good job.
Yeah, confirm.
Right, he's close enough to have a look into turn 1. Much closer this time round. but not quick enough. Tsunoda has kept it at bay. This is going to be a mighty result for Honda. A podium
Is Norris.
in their first home race in partnership with Aston. And Alonso in 6th place as well.
Race is long.
Potentially has the chance to get past Albon. Go back to Checo. See if we can get some
6 laps to go at the end of this one.
Yeah, copy.
distance back to Gasly.
So deployed.
Yep.
If we can get close enough, we might be able to just throw it up the inside somewhere. I don't think I'm going to catch Hulkenberg. Antonelli's very close. There he is. Less than 1.5 seconds behind and closing with every corner. But even 9th would be a fantastic result.
Norris. Continue, keep going. And tire phase update when you can.
Tyres are still good.
There were some vibrations on these tires.
Here comes Antonelli. He is steaming up to the back of us. Look. I'm going to have to deploy out of... Oh, no! Antonelli hit us.
Copy.
Antonelli locked up, smashed into us.
Puncture front right.
Can we get going again? I don't think we can. I think
There's
we're done.
a yellow flag now.
Yeah, I think we're done. Oh, heartbreak. This would have been 8th place, maybe 9th, and Antonelli just... Oof.
I got hit quite badly.
What's this? I got hit quite badly. Cheeky bugger. That's going to be a full-on safety car. Yeah, Valtteri is out.
Safety car.
God damn it.
Working on tires and brakes.
We are still just in the points with Checo, but that's points lost. Oh, so frustrating. So frustrating.
So there was a crash. Possible debris. Be careful there. 5 laps to go.
Copy.
And that could be some serious engine damage to Bottas as well. Antonelli will get a 3-place penalty in qualifying in Bahrain. Not that that really helps us. And now we're going to have a couple of laps, maybe just 1 lap, sprinting.
Where we are?
At the moment we are P10.
On the
Gasly
restart
in
here.
front. Car behind is Norris. And
Field is
5 laps to
really
go.
spread out. Has anyone been lapped? No. No one's been lapped. So we won't have to wait for lap cars to be unlapped before getting back underway, but there aren't many laps left. It's not impossible that we finish under the safety car here. Four laps to go, including the lap that the leaders have started. Field's not going to join up until at least one more lap, I don't think. So yeah, we might get one lap. Which may potentially give us a chance to jump Gasly.
And 4 laps to go.
Copy.
Still have a point up for grabs. How far away are we from the safety car? There it is, going down the back straight on the approach to 130R. But we still have these guys yet to form up as well, so at the very earliest, the safety car will come in next lap. At the very earliest, which would give us 2 racing laps.
It's going very slow, the safety car.
Yes, confirm. Continue working on these tires.
And what was going to be a really comfortable race win for Piastri is now in jeopardy.
Energies are good.
Copy.
Yuki Tsunoda is still ahead of Charles Leclerc. Hamilton is in 4th place. There's a good chance that these two might squabble amongst each other and give Tsunoda a chance to stay ahead. Tsunoda may even be able to jump Piastri and get a win for Honda at their home race, which would be incredible for them. Can Alonso get a good jump off Albon on the restart and get up into the top 5? Who knows? Depends how many laps we're going to have, maybe. We'll have enough battery for 2 full laps. More than enough fuel. We'll have enough tyres to really push. Are you disappearing, Ali? You're going to miss the last couple of laps. You got 10 more minutes, don't you? Still waiting for Behrman and Colapinto to close up. Oh, we would have had full money from the sponsors for finishing with both in the top 18 as well as, you know, at least 2 points, maybe even 4 points if we'd held on to 8th. But it's still a point. It'll be Checo's first points of the season.
How are these tires?
I'm not sure we're actually going to get the safety car in this lap. It might go one more lap because the field still hasn't formed up, and this is usually where it decides. Oh no, it is coming in. Look, we're going to have 2 racing laps.
Safety car in this lap. We may restart again next lap.
Yeah, copy.
2 racing laps. 1 point is a good point. Oh yeah, any point is a good point.
Okay, copy.
We were extremely lucky to pick up 12 in the opening Grand Prix, again, because safety cars completely screwed up strategy for the AI, but we were so far off the pace at times in China, and I didn't think we were going to get points here today until another safety car helped us out.
2 laps to go.
Copy.
So we need to try and attack, but we also need to try and keep someone behind. Tsunoda running wide. Leclerc has gone through.
Let's have a look at that.
Ocon has locked
It's
up somewhere, and that's
obviously
behind
quite
us.
wet out there. Oh, and the car
That's a
locks
big
up.
lockup.
They took a gamble, and it was just too late.
So Tsunoda's down to third, still on the podium, but Ferrari are all over him.
And try to cool down the tires as much as possible.
Copy.
Can we get a jump here through 220? No, we can't.
Okay, next guy in front is Gasly.
I don't think we're going to have a chance to get past Gasly. It's now going to be a case of can we keep Norris behind?
All right, let's concentrate.
And that's more important than trying to push for an extra point.
Try to stay in front.
Will Hamilton get past Tsunoda and take a podium away from Honda?
And last lap.
He's not close enough there. Norris is having a look. We've got the legs. We've kept him behind there.
And Norris behind.
This is going to come down to the run up to 130R and the Casio triangle for us.
Race is long.
We're not going to get Gasly, but can we at least keep Norris behind us? Can we hang on for the point?
Are behind Norris.
Half a lap to go.
Continue like this.
Lando desperately trying to find a way past us. They're queuing up because we're dropping away from Gasly. But we have just about, I hope, got enough battery to protect us here.
Continue. Keep going.
Oh, here comes Norris. He hasn't got the legs. Back into the slipstream. It's going to come down to the triangle. We keep him at bay. I think we've done it. Piastri wins from Charles Leclerc. Tsunoda does keep the podium. It's third for Honda at their home race.
Copy.
We just keep Norris at bay. We get a point with Checo, his first point of the season. A dramatic end to that Grand Prix. We could have had more points, but I will settle for one.
Well, in the end, that was a pretty terrible day for Valtteri Bottas.
This really is going to be an incredible disappointment for them, a retirement and an opportunity missed.
The man from down under, Oscar Piastri, heads up to our podium.
That gives them their first win of the season, and it was really well deserved.
And a lovely show of sportsmanship to conclude proceedings here in Japan. Well, Karun, how do you think they'll be feeling in the team garage at the end of that?
Well, it was a bit of a mixed bag here. Some things went their way, but others didn't. I think their main target now will be finding some consistency for sure.
And that's all for today as we wrap up the weekend here in Japan.
So nice to see a happy, smiling Yuki on the podium at his home race as well. Confirmation of the final result. It is a win for Oscar, who desperately needed a strong result today and got one. in good style there. Charles Leclerc takes second, Yuki in third, Hamilton has to settle for fourth, Albon in fifth. Another strong result for him in that Williams this season. Alonso in sixth to really give a huge haul of points to Aston Martin and Honda at Japan. Hülkenberg, what a great race for him. Has to settle for seventh in the end, but still, given where he was earlier in the Grand Prix and his gamble to stay out definitely paid off for him. He manages to get 6 strong points there for Audi. Likewise, Liam Lawson also took the gamble with us to stay out in that first safety car. He brings it home in 8th place. 9th for Pierre Gasly, 10th for Checo Perez, 11th for Lando Norris, 12th for Russell, 13th for Isaac Hadjar, 14th for Sainz, 15th for Max Verstappen. Disappointing day for Red Bull. They were running very well in the early stages of the race. 16th for Franco Colapinto, 17th for Ocon, 18th for Ollie Behrman, and then the retirements, 19th and out Valtteri Bottas, 20th Antonelli took out Valtteri, will have a 3-place penalty in the next race, and then Bortoleto and Lindblad bringing out that first safety car early on. Lindblad will also have a 3-place penalty for taking out Bortoleto in that race. Into the driver's standings then, Leclerc goes top by 1 point from Lando Norris, who failed to score and has lost the lead of the championship today. Oscar up into third place, up 7 places. He's 11 points behind his teammate, but moves 2 clear of George, who also failed to score, as did Max Verstappen. They're both down 2 places each. Hamilton stays 6th, but closes the gap with 12 points, and Alex Albon drops down 2 places. He is on 26 points, and it's Yuki Tsunoda up 5 to 20. Nico Hülkenberg up 2 places on 14 points now. Bottas failing to score. He drops down 3 places into 10th. He's on 12 points. Also on 12 points, Antonelli in 11th. Then it's Hadjar with 10. Alonso up to 10 points now as well. Sainz has 6 points in 14th. Then it's Lawson with 4. Gasly with 3. Perez gets off the mark with his first point of the season. He takes 17th now in the standings. And then the non-scorers, we have Ollie Behrman, Esteban Ocon, Franco Colapinto, Gabriel Bortoleto, and Arvid Lindblad bringing up the rear. Ignore Ricciardo and Magnussen. They were unexpected signings from the AI as I was prepping up for this season. So, McLaren are top of the constructors by 7 points, not 13 points. 7 points from Ferrari, who closed the gap today, outscoring McLaren by 5. 25 points scored for McLaren, 30 for Ferrari. No points from Mercedes, who, despite having the best car, have not been able to get results to match that, apart from China this year, where Russell was dominant, but nowhere in Australia, nowhere here today. Likewise, no points for Red Bull today. They're on 43 points. Williams have 32. Aston up to 6th place now with 30 points. Audi have 14 points. We drop down 2 places into 8th on 13, but we're still ahead of our season target of 9th. Racing Bulls up 2 places. They have 4 points now. They're off the mark. Alpine pick up another couple of points. They have 3 points in 10th. Haas, the only team yet to score a point so far. In the pit stop challenge, we did not get on the leaderboard. Just not quick enough. Red Bull had the quickest stop and 7th as well. Ferrari getting 2nd and 5th. McLaren 3rd and 6th. Mercedes taking 4th. Then it's Aston from Williams and Haas. Slowest time to get on the board was a 2.448. We weren't even close. Our best time was 2.6 for Valtteri and 2.8 for Checo. So the standings look like this. Ferrari go top of the DHL fastest pit stop competition by 1 point from Red Bull. Both teams gaining places today. 63 points for Ferrari, 62 for Red Bull. McLaren in 3rd on 56. No points for Racing Bulls. They drop 3 places. They're on 40 points still. Alpine also unmoved. They're on 31 points still. Mercedes up 1 place to 6th. They're on 22, ahead of Audi and Aston, both on 12 each. We have our 2 points. It keeps us in 9th place. Williams moving up a place. They're on 2 points as well now. And Haas on 1 point in 11th. No finish, so no money for Valtteri, but we did get the payout for Checo, so another 472,000 added to the bank. Let's head back to HQ and survey the damage to Valtteri, shall we? All right, thanks for watching, Alan. I hope you've enjoyed tonight's race, and hopefully we'll see you again tomorrow. Right, let's see how bad that damage is, shall we? We've got lots of red exclamation marks, which is not good. That's not good. Let's see. Post-race data. Oh, we destroyed the chassis, a front wing, a rear wing, and a suspension. Gearbox took a monster whack. Engine took a big hit as well, as did the ERS. That's lost about, what, 25%, I think. That's lost about 20%, maybe. And that's lost a ton. That was about, what, 70%, 80%? So that's down to almost unusable now, unfortunately. So both cars now potentially staring down the barrel of engine penalties later in the season. That's not just a problem, but a very expensive problem as well, as that will cost us 8.5 mil for a complete engine replacement with ERS and gearbox as well. Ah, dear, dear, dear. That's not good. Let's see what parts we can replace. I don't know if I have a spare chassis. I do. I'm out of spare chassis. Plenty of spare front and rear wings. And that's my spare suspension gone as well. So, we're 11 days away from Sakir, and still a long way away from our replacement chassis being able to go into manufacturing. It'll take 20 days to design still, and then another 10 days each to build. So we're going to need to make a spare chassis. I've got just enough money to make a chassis and a suspension. Suspension is even further away, so let's build one chassis, one suspension, and that's all my money gone again. There we go. Burning through our new parts far too quickly here. Dear, dear, dear. Right, let's check in with the board. Board should be delighted with a point. They were fantastic. They're disappointed on objectives because we failed last season, but we were simming, so it doesn't matter. Finances, not ideal. We are about to get some money from the sponsors, though, in 2 days' time. That'll be 6 million. That'll allow us to at least get started on front and rear wings. If we don't go intense. We are above target by 1 place. That's good. That's 2 points finishes in the opening 3 races. That's phenomenal. And certainly not going to be the norm. I don't think we're going to do very well here in Bahrain at all. Expect it to be dry. The only thing that might make things interesting is the AI could potentially burn through its tyres quite quickly and have to make extra stops. But with our lack of pace, I don't think that's going to do us any favours. So we may have to go super aggressive on the number of tyre stops we make as well. We could be looking at 3 stops ourselves. Let's take a quick look at the facilities. They should all be fine. See the wind tunnel reduced, as is the factory from sponsor work, as is the CFD sim. Everything else here is okay. Weather sensor, yeah, only 34% accuracy. We kind of figured that. Again, no money for upgrades here. I would like to be able to get an upgrade on the helipad, but I don't have the nearly 400,000 it's going to cost me. Well, nearly 500,000. So we're still stuck at level 3 helipad. Tour sensors giving us a good little bit of cash every week. Memorabilia room's doing okay. Let's get some money from the sponsors, shall we? We'll also get a couple of mil from the board for our monthly payments. Well, I say from the board. Minus expenses and prize money from last season, it'll be about 2 mil. Affiliates. We're probably going to give them their first run in Bahrain. We're at 74 on smoothness now for Logan Sargent. No improvement for Jack this month. Main drivers, we've actually gained a point in braking for Valtteri. There we go. Target achieved with a little bit to spare. That gives us just over $6 million. We've got a really good engagement package. No military activity this month. So just the 6 mil, he says. Just. That's a lot. It's a very nice amount to have. That's where our car sits in terms of car 1 performance, but we know it's not 100% accurate. Let's see. Haas. I've got a new underfloor. Strong track performance, and they're working on a chassis now. Mercedes saying it's been tough. They're below where they expected to be. They're below where everyone expected them to be. They have a really strong car. And apart from China, they just haven't been able to show it yet. Let's take a quick look at the calendar. So we have just over a week until we go to Bahrain. That is going to be the spare chassis just in time. And that's our spare suspension. So we'll have a spare of each of those going into Bahrain. We've got a regulation vote coming up in a few days. That will be to determine what the aero changes will be for next season. Then we have our brand new chassis design in between Bahrain and Jeddah. So at the earliest, we will have that for at least one car going in here to Miami. And then that's the new suspension. And that'll take 8 days each. So we'll have one available for Miami. And then the ATR period ends at the end of the month as well. We still have hours to spend. We're going to do that very, very soon. Let's get our sponsors planned in. No military activities again. Looking at, again, a baseline of 6.09 mil. Once again, though, we need to do a lot to fill that up. And I think we're going to have to lean on our drivers again, which I really didn't want to do. But the stuff down here just doesn't generate enough. You can see they're barely moving how much we need to find. We need to find over 6,000 points in engagement activities. So we are going to have to use our drivers. Don't want to use them both twice. Let's put Logan Sargent in there as well. I'm going to have to go with a design center again. And probably with our technical chief. Is there any meaningful amount I can add in to allow us to take one of our drivers out? I don't think there is. Oh wait, that's Valtteri on both of them. Okay, let's do that then. Split the load between them, and that just gives us a slight overload to try and make sure that we do get that through. But once again, we are tying... Oh, now it's showing us... That's weird. Oh, I see. I didn't go with that one. So that's... skip training. Okay, let's go with driver mentality. Alright, can I reduce Checo down a bit? That's going to do his mentality and his development rates over his driver performance. Yeah, that's a bit more preferable. Again, it's a little bit of an overflow, but now we've got it staggered so that each driver is doing something and not one driver overloaded. Again, it's not ideal. We saw how much it affected Perez in the first couple of Grand Prix. It's now going to affect them both in the next period. We really do need to get an upgrade on the marketability, which would help boost the amount we're getting from engagement activities. So that would mean upgrading our memorabilia room and or hospitality areas, which we can't really afford to do. Well, we've got some money now. Let's have a look. So that would give me a 20-point boost. That would give me a 10-point boost. Help improve mentality. That would just make the team a lot more attractive, but give us a bigger boost to marketability. It's 2 months away though, and it's going to be more expensive. Let's go with this one. It's only 9 days. It will help improve the mentality to counteract the negative effects to Valtteri and Checo a little bit, and it's cheaper. So we'll do that. We'll do the memorabilia room, and now we've got 6.9 mil to invest in our wing development. I did want to try and go intense, but we just don't have the money for that because they're 5.4 million each on intense, and we just don't have that kind of cash. So we're going to go with half the hours on the front and the other half on the rear. Try and give ourselves a nice little boost to our downforce levels. Let's improve airflow sensitivity a little bit more and improve airflow at the front. Let's take the airflow sensitivity down a touch. There we go. So we're not damaging the tyre. Let's take the lifespan down 2 clicks to give us that little bit of extra downforce. That's going to give us very little. Oh, excuse me. It will give us a couple of places on the dirty air as things currently stand, but it's not huge. But in combination with the rear wing that we're going to work on, that should hopefully give us a nice little overall boost for downforce. So let's get one engineer on that. Normal 44 days. That means 6 days to build. We will have those just, 2 for Montreal, assuming we don't rush the build. We'll have 7 days. If we rush, we could get 3, so we'd have a spare. So I might rush the build. Depends how much money we've got, I suppose. Let's confirm that, because we're going to have rear wings to build at the same time. They will take just as long. Let's put the rest of the hours onto the rear wing. Just shy of being able to afford to go intense. A couple $100,000 short. But we needed to do that upgrade to the memorabilia room. So we want to improve our speed, so we need to work on boosting drag and DRS. Let's improve airflow sensitivity a touch. We'll take away a little bit on the low speed. Let's try and just stack the medium and high speed a touch more. And let's take a little bit of life out of the rear wing as well. So that's going to give us a nice boost to DRS, not really much of a boost to our speed or acceleration. Again, a little boost to dirty air tolerance. And then combined with the front wing, that should bring us a little bit closer to the rest of the field. I think we'll still probably be the worst. But at least we'll have another upgrade package coming. So that is a Mark III chassis on the way. No, Mark II, sorry, a Mark III suspension on the way. And then we have Mark II front wing and rear wing coming. So we can definitely gain some speed with the chassis. And by stripping a lot of weight out of the car there, that'll help with the acceleration slightly as well. We will also gain some extra downforce across the board here. We'll get a bit more cooling with this one. Maybe a touch more speed as well, and then combined with the wings, hopefully this will give us a bit more performance. I'm not expecting miracles by any stretch of the imagination, and that is where we're going to leave it for today. When we come back tomorrow, we will get the pit crew training done, and then we'll get ourselves into that final week for prep for Sakir. Weather should be fine. It almost always is. We should have our spares back, so we'll have at least one spare across every part. And we'll be a little bit closer to being able to start to build new upgrades as well, potentially. So, I hope you've enjoyed tonight's race. If you have, a thumbs up would be much appreciated. Thank you for sticking through to the end, those of you that have. If you are not yet subscribed, then why not consider subscribing as well? And be sure to hit the notification bell so that you know when the live streams start. We will eventually go down to a slightly reduced schedule of maybe 3 days a week live streaming this. But for the next week or so, we're going to do 5 nights a week. So I'll be back tomorrow. Same time, 8 p.m. here in the UK. So that's 5 hours ahead of Eastern time, 8 hours ahead of Pacific. If you're in the States, about an hour behind mainland Europe. So adjust your times accordingly. Officially, we're on GMT +1 at the moment. Clocks haven't gone back yet. So yeah, there we go. That is it for another stream. Another point added to our standings. So we're up to 13 points. Unlucky 13. Down to 8th. Yet more expensive engine damage to our stockpile. It's going to be very expensive at some point later in the season. I need to try and figure out where and when we're going to drop those upgrades in. But that is a problem for way further down the line, hopefully. Hopefully we're not going to suffer more catastrophic engine issues. And that's it for tonight. Thanks for watching. I am Jim Bob, and I'll be back with more F1 Manager very soon.